Hello and welcome to another match of the 2022 Roulette Rivals World Championship. This is Group D and the first match for ThatObserver and the second match for, no, the third match for GKPunk. Goodness me, that's a rocky start if I ever had one. 3 maps are on the offer today as well, like always in the group stages. First Ambrose Island picked by Observer, then Paris chosen by GKPunk, and we'll have a third map as well, which is close to my heart, but we'll keep it hidden for just a bit longer. Yeah, 30-ish seconds to go. Going to adjust the sound levels a bit. We'll have some Observer game sound here. 15 seconds to go. Ambrose first is... well, I'm not even sure if Punky has been playing it in tournaments, but Observer did have some in some other tournaments, not even single players one, but in a certain team tournament not so long ago. Here's the first spin. Noah Crest, Loud Pistol as the engineer, and Sini Ekaventhan with the next snap as militia soldier. This would be much more fitting if the disguises were swapped. I think it will be some sort of back and forth. And the Noah Loud kill is something that Observer and I have been discussing a lot lately, and we're not exactly sure what would be like the safest and best way to do so, but yeah, both going on at the beginning of the spin with the Central Social Hub start. Easy briefcase, the durian, and the C4 setup if someone likes it. It's a no two-handed weapon restriction, so it's easy to shuffle in or out these items. And we will see this loud kill for Observer. I'm just really curious to see if he had found anything else since then, because we were looking at some angles from far away to hopefully work it out, but it is going to be some challenge. Punky starting with the C4, but if I'm not mistaken, yep, there we go, Crest is already sick, because that was a different kind of emetic for a different kind of situation. My encoding is overloaded, so please let me know as soon as possible if something is in or out of order. We will just keep going anyways. There's the isolation for Observer on Crest. And Punk will need 2 more KOs here. Now the problem here is that the loud kill, you will see the panic scatter around here. Fortunately, it seems like there must be... the foliage will help for sure. That's what I wanted to say here. And of course the box for Crest, but engineer is still needed. Which will be Observer's second kill if all things look right. Observer getting wrecked by some of these agility prompts. It's a bit strange area, but gets to the meeting room and we will see the Aka peekaboo isolation. Punk could be in the similar situation, but a Seeker in hand. We'll see. She might not be going towards... she might not wait until the meeting room isolation happens, and I'm just really curious to see what the closest bathroom would be from that very point. GKPunk just made her sick. Observer got the lure plus peekaboo. This is 2 crucial KOs, and it's being very finicky at that. He pauses, checks it again. It is indeed orange. The lockdown would have been hard to contain anyway, but it is the unconscious witness which prompts the first restart of this match. Punk's Seeker shot will be a safer and just a slightly bit longer isolation. And it seems the pirate at the left side of our screen won't be troublesome, and Punk gets the next snap. Which is the first successful Aka kill of the match. Still the main challenge remaining. Will it be possible? They sure will be hoping so, but will it be first try? So I want to say for the no kill. I have to wrestle with some Windows here, apologies. Do having some minor technical issues here, so please keep me posted. Observer back in it, and with the first isolation again, just wonder how the loud kill will end up working at the end. One gets an engineer, it's not the one on the pier, which everyone likes to get. Slight variation in here. Probably an even smaller detour. So definitely, if one can afford it in the Cheng, then why not? C4 has been planted, and if the delivery has been successful, then it's just one prompt away. And this is some fascinating agility action for Punk. The one thing that remains is using that pistol. Watching out for the head turns and the hacks from above. There's the classic bowler. Need to look out for NPCs above. To this day, I'm not exactly sure who the main trouble is. I think it's the chef, which we are looking at right now. And it will be taken care of with a distraction, although I think that will be taking just a bit longer because he has seen the item, but the distraction will be going. Can even afford a Chang there, which will make it even quicker. There's the kill. And that should be everything. Set up CX detonator in hand, and it is just dodging the enforcers. That will take some time. But I think just taking the long way around, there is still one more enforcer, and yes, he starts running. Perfect timing. Some are looking back at Punk, and it's 95% full, but not 100%, and Punk survives. And Punk earns 2 points for this, unless some scattered panic. Let's wait this out. It's still 10 seconds to go. He will be trespassing in this room, but can pick up the keys and will exit Ambrose by the slightest, tiniest of margins. GKPunk. Crazy, crazy first try, taking the first 2 points of the match. 5:46 first try. Just over 7 minutes of real time. So of course not a lot of planning went into this. Not a lot of time used on planning. Oh, and yes, Observer's drag did not work out either way. That was my main concern with that chat. One that we couldn't figure out for yesterday's Providence Cup final. Sadly, it hit him today with the loud no kill. So we are next off to Paris, chosen by GKPunk. And dare I say, I think the opinions are a bit divided. It's not a community favorite, but it is, I guess, the founding RR map. It's what the trilogy starts with, it, at least as far as main missions go. But some don't consider it as deep, but some, like, yes, Blunts and Beats, sorry, as it's probably something that is very deep and very well optimized for basically everything, and it feels like every game mode can be working on here. We didn't live to see the ghost mode days, but contracts mode, roulette, speedruns all seem to be balanced, so that's where we are going to be going next. And this being GKPunk's third ever match, we won't expect to see a lot of experience on the right hand side. Not a lot of lifetime performance, of course. Experience is there from other comps and from playing the game for years and years. Observer has 7 matches to his name, but also a lot more competitions. He has 1 Paris loss, which has happened against Matty Spice in the second round of RR9 last time around. It was in August, if I remember correctly. But yeah, the 000 and the 010 are not accurate indicators. I guess the one thing I would say is that Observer is not a huge fan of the map, and of course Punk has picked it, so he must be. But of course tactical picks also exist. I think it's better if I turn down Paris fireworks at the very least, so that we are not deafened. 2 more minutes. And of course, this is what is in play, the early Dahlia lure, and following that the victor isolation. Or perhaps an auction start, a quick Dahlia isolation followed by some emetics for Victor before he walks down the stairs. These would be the 2 main actions here, and of course there are still some niche spins which can show up, some niche conditions or disguise combos. I think there is no spin that is straightforward which includes any of the consume poison kills. So that would be one of my hopes in general for Paris. The rest of the accidents perhaps fall in some cases can prompt you to do some other action, but I don't think accidents in general would change a lot. The loud kills, at least for Dahlia, and when it involves being her down one floor, are challenging, and especially with Sophus hot on her heels, something to be mindful of.
His posturing, he is merely the money man. The real target is Dahlia Margolis. Beautiful and brilliant, she is a master manipulator and the true brains behind Iago. 2 targets, a highly public event. At first glance, an impossible task. Then again, I do know how you love a challenge. I will leave you to prepare.
Who needs the scenes for these briefings anyway? Thank you, Punky, for showing us what is on offer here. A couple of seconds we'll see our second spin. It is Viktor Novikov next snap as a stylist, Dahlia Margolis SMG as auction staff. Not much to say about the Dahlia kill, and people could opt for her. It's a very quick kill. Victor Stylist next step can be challenging because you will be trespassing a whole lot if you want to get him upstairs. Would there be a case of letting her go down one floor? It's not something that is explored a whole lot, but would make the Victor kill a bit quicker. Anyway, for now it is double tech crew start, and could be double Dahlia lure, but GK will start with the isolation next to the Sheik's room. Perhaps using the fireworks remote a bit later, but for Observer it is definitely on now, and the first isolation concludes here in this side room. Chris, it was Johnny X in one of the 2021 RRs who had maybe even Stylist Saber with just incredible risk versus reward. Worked out very well for him. He's a risky player, but Johnny perfects that style. Might be seeing some safer plays here today because these players are very much methodical and prefer not to rip ever and are willing to give up some seconds just so that their round will be first try. Punk is yet to rip today, and Observer with just these 2, the second one being inconsequential, but first map is Punk's so far. Observer already back as the stylist up here, and will be trespassing and dodging some bushes. There we go. that is very likely to be a peekaboo in this room. And the second whoosh. And we can see that Dahlia will be stopping there and maybe turning back, but it's something that is related to timing, and it's close on the timing as well. Doesn't seem like Dahlia is noticing, but we see that kill very shortly now. With the slapdash, Observer gets the first kill. And now, whatever is your belief, you are hoping for Sophus not to intervene with the rest of this spin. Punk with a double shot to turn those two guards around. It's great awareness there, because otherwise he would have been waiting a good minute there and gets the victor kill, which is the longer one, harder one, arguably. No GRB there on Punk's side, and the cycles work out, so now he has the stylist, rather the auction staff. As Observer also gets the victor kill. He's just passing, but Dahlia is found. There was the Sophus. I think the last ditch attempt for the bullet distraction was for Sophus indeed. But GK was also with a restart. Back to even. 3.5 minutes of practice, but now the spin really begins for both of them, but they just don't know it. And it's different approaches too. Punk not approaching Dahlia in any way before the victor kill is won. And of course the other aspect is Observe with the double lure, very textbook. And it was working out so fine, but Sophus will never not be an issue. And yes, we are back at the second minute of these players' runs, where it's usually about the stylist getting these free disguise, which is only a problem if you trigger when you trigger a certain couple, because then the lady will come and just look at this free disguise. And it's different routes as well, with Punk taking the pipe up here to the museum director. I almost said hospital director, but it is the museum director's office with the security guard and the vase. So did that work out for Observer? He tries not to go for it this time, but gets no whooshes here, and I think with a bit more time, Observer might be trying to either hide these two bodies or jack her against the door, because that is one way, and possibly the only way, to make sure an incoming Sophus is stopped in his tracks. Punk, I think despite his efforts, ended up getting gate-kept, sorry about that, by those two security guards. They will walk slowly and menacingly towards 47. Observer only hides one body, and I honestly don't know what happens to Sophus if Dahlia is hidden. Oh, but gets just passing anyway, gets caught just passing there. I think it's I'm honestly not sure if it's a second cicada with a cycle, or it was just increasing head turns, but close call there, and a second restart for Observer. Punk with Victor down. Dahlia to go, and it is just auction stuff, SMG with fireworks remote in hand. It is as easy of an isolation on the balcony as you like. It just perhaps the one last obstacle. I would not say it's unrippable. I am a caster, so I will never claim like this. But there is still the possibility of Dahlia screaming in one way, shape or form, and then Just one last item need to be dropped, but it should be one last silent KO. And a thrown one to get down this cicada. Silent kill. And helicopter exit in 30 seconds for Punk. Sub 4 on the cards, and we'll even do a bullet distraction there. To make his exit even safer. Would have been first try versus first try, would have been a crazy match to see. Second try versus second try was also looking exciting, but the fact that Observer has ripped for the second time, Punk finished it off with a sub 4 in the end, earned him his second 2 points. And yeah, Speedrun says it is his third match and his third guaranteed match win, because the worst he can do now is a 4-2 win. With 2 more points still on offer. A raging 47 takes out the globe in this room, dragging Dahlia through it. And time is up for Observer. Must be definitely frustrating to see multiple restarts on a quick map like this. Goes the other way around, but gets another peekaboo in the end. Last ditch ceiling shot. I thought I did see this the other day that it wouldn't work. Apparently it does. The more you learn, sorry.
Both targets are down. Great work. Now head towards an exit.
It's interesting to see that both players ended up with well, I guess multiple bullet restrictions in this case on the roaming security guards. It is definitely one of the challenging aspects of Paris, especially for some upstairs trespassing disguise. Sorry, I just cannot speak today. The words per minute of Joker, I just can't keep up without mistakes left, right, and center. And once again, it seems like quicker in-game time. It is a quicker in-game time this time. But in this real-time event, that is not good for anything. The 2 rips to 1 is what mattered here. 2 more minutes. And we are in New York. A very, very lovely map. And I am just not going to say it. But everyone has their opinion about it. And short maps and coin flips maps in general. Paris spin was, let's test our memories, it was Victor Next Step Stylist and Ali SMG Auction Staff. Yes, Sparkles got it first. Two for Observer. Not many maps he has played multiple occasions in his Roulette Rivals tournament, and this is the only one where he has multiple wins. Those 2 wins came against Mr. Mike in the first round of RR9 and against Barbecue deep in the lower bracket last time around, on his last win to date, since the following round he suffered a famous 6-4 decider loss against Moo. Was definitely one of the matches of that tournament. It's always nice to play some New York, to route some New York, and I do think that to this day and following these patches there are some new things to be found, especially with Zirun was the first one to show what to do with the suit spin and perhaps even taking out of the cameras with the use of a explosive duck. It won't happen this time with this bank teller letter opener spin, but we will see it soon enough for sure. As chat mentioned about the world record, the 215 will stay intact today. But it is a quick one with the letter opener just inside, but it could cause some early rips, but Observer gets it from the teller start, and just need to adjust my volumes there. Big difference in starts, of course. Punk will be looking to get a teller quickly, probably at the top of these stairs. But also gets the letter opener from this private deposit box. I think it's not a lot you can say about the Observer's chat, but there's one problem. The fact that this last card did not turn around, and it seems fine for the time being, but I think they finished turnaround and he didn't turn on the EMP just yet. Now the surveillance system has been disabled. That has been a bit too close of a call there. Johnny X talking about the New York World Record using the Subdue related hyper boost upstairs. But it will have to be just the grab on this bank teller. It should be hidden nicely in this cupboard. Someone will come in this room in certain cases, not in all spins though, I don't think. But the one who's on the phone, who talks about whistleblowing, might be an issue here. Punk gets an unfortunate cycle here and will have to wait, but now for Observer. Gets the 2 chunks. Needs to get this last KO before any question marks, and that did work out. Observer with a kill down. And should not be heard or seen by anyone else outside this room. The green guns should stay for the time being and until the end of the run. CO keycards received. And just Fabian's disc remaining. And in this spin there is at least one more chunk that he should have. And also the snail. So we'll have to see about which one he will use. He still knows, or he should know from yesterday, that there is an enforcer lady, which Mendo really nicely called the lady. Oh, but she won't be any problem here because Fabian was still looking back at this run, this room. Punk with a second kill, and this is bad news for Observer, for Chris X, sorry, our match admin, because 47 seconds might be on the offer here, but PC versus PC won't change the result. Observer is out with his first try, and Punk is racing against the 3-minute mark with one more disc to get. This is Observer's map, no doubt, but there are still some formalities to be had.
So are we just supposed to let anyone from IT in there?
Some frustration from GKPunk's side. Showing the letter opener, which does feel like the more optimized one, and the moving strength shot missed on Punk's side. So he will have to improvise, and probably the timer will end to his frustration. Just going to make this work just a bit easier, because this now feels like closer to 1 minute and time is up. Observer is the confirmed winner of the third map. Both players out with points. GKPunk with a win. ThatObserver taking the RNG third map. 234 first try from Observer. That was probably the single most optimized spin of the day, but that's probably easy to say for the one target map, and both of the 2 target maps are very nicely handled by Punk, so the win is rightfully his third win in the groups as well. What we have here for, first of all, the groups. Is it the Group D? Punk with now 14 points out of a maximum of 18. 3 wins from 3 matches. Him and Ashton are the only 2 players with a 100% win rate, and Observer's first match, 2 points on the board. With, of course, a lot more to be gained. Looking at this, so there's, of course, Punk with 3 matches. and everyone else has only played once. Ashton, Tinega, Observer, Blend Speaker, and T-Nord. Between 0 and 5 points, with Ducker and Pineur yet to play one. So of course it's very early to say, but it's not like GKPunk's 14 points will not make him a favorite to at least advance in a top 4 or top 3 position. Of course, this group officially has Ducker and T-Nord as the first 2 seeds. And I'm just very much excited to see how their matches turn out as well. Actually, I think Punk started his campaign with a sweep against T-Nord, so that's a first blood taken there for the top 4 spots. But there are 28 matches to play in each group, so obviously these 3 or 4 that we have seen so far won't make much difference. Looking forward to see what happens next, of course. And we do have a break here. I think so. I'm just looking at my follower list and how certain channels are behaving. But it seems like the next match will start in 60 minutes from now between Ashton and GKPunk, and Mando will be casting that one. This will be followed by one more match for the evening, and then the Tuesday list of matches will begin. At least we can see 5, probably a couple more there as well. Should be a great day, a great week, and a long group stage, of course. I would like to thank ChrisX3 again for adminning this match. GG's to both players, GKPunk for winning, and of course the 2 points for ThatObserver as well. Thank you everyone for watching, and until the next match, bye bye.